Last time on Yardrats, with King Cold's elite squadron defeated, Goku is invited by Hushu, the planet's wise elder, to learn the instant transmission. Simultaneously, he set out to properly control his Super Saiyan form. 2 months into his training, he would succeed in the latter, but still struggles with the former. While out in space, Frieza and his father prepare themselves to take their revenge. Find Master Roshi Stone hidden somewhere in today's video, and be the first to comment where you found it at, and you'll get that comment pinned in this video and a shout out in the next. So shout out to Rick C1242 and Wesker Enthusiast for being the first two to find it in the last video. Planet Frieza number 3, May 26, 763. One of Cold's high-ranking soldiers addresses his master. He alerts that according to their sources, a Saiyan named Vegeta attacked one of their military bases. Shima, the female warrior who fled the battle against Goku on Yardrat, was also seen on one of his planets. It's been 2 months since last hearing from the elite squad, so the henchman believes that it's safe to assume they've all been defeated. However, this statement causes another to condescend. The entire squadron, you say? Did he forget that he's still here? If Master Cold doesn't mind, he'll take care of finding that monkey and that treacherous biscuit, Shima. Since Cold sent him out on a solitary mission during their time of disembarkment to Yardrat, he couldn't be with his squad. Ergo, the responsibility falls on himself to avenge him. An offer the angry king doesn't hesitate to accept. He instructs him to go straighten them out as he refuses to allow his empire to become the laughingstock of the universe. He's counting on him to bring back the head of that monkey. If he fails, he had better flee before he mounts his head on a pike instead. Is that understood? And, possibly regretting his decision, he promises to do his best. Taking off, the 4th member of Cold's squadron went in search of the Saiyan Prince. Planet Litz. The Birdman appears to be wounded from a sort of battle, as a voice off-screen barks that he's looking for the Super Saiyan who defeated Frieza. Does he have any information? But the grunt can only quiver out a chortle at the very idea. A Super Saiyan that defeated Lord Frieza? What a joke! Revealing the other man to predictably be Vegeta, who charges a finishing blast and growls, "Well, this clearly isn't my lucky day, but it obviously isn't yours either!" As a new ship enters the planet's atmosphere. How strange. A random space capsule? Could it be Kakarot? Whoever it is, Vegeta warns they beware. The Saiyan Prince is coming. Discovering it's a ship much like the one Goku would have escaped in. Who could this realistically be? Sensing his key. It's not Kakarot. But who is it? Finally meeting face to face. Vegeta questions who he is. A henchman of Frieza? The man utters that's not quite the case. He is Zarok, a member of Cold's elite squadron. He's in the service of Frieza's father, the same man who the Saiyan here dared betray by attacking his military bases. For that transgression, he will die. Scoffing this off, Vegeta asks if he's come here to kill him. Don't make him laugh. His power isn't even a tenth of what he has. However, the villain warns the little monkey not to get too arrogant. He himself has far greater power than the traitor here. Clicking a scouter, Zarok comments that especially when he only registers 55,000. And given what the prince has learned over the past year or so, he finds it unbelievable they still rely on those things. His scouter is wrong. Any warrior worth their weight in salt is capable of hiding their true power. And he calls himself elite anything? Pathetic. Showcasing the man's error firsthand, Vegeta grins that he'll have the privilege of tasting his new power. But charging him, it doesn't matter what the scouter says. He has no choice but to fight this to the end. A mentality loved by the Saiyan. That's a real warrior's attitude. So show him what he's worth. He chastises the fiend to stop kidding around and fight. Zarok attack! Slapping away the foe's eponymous attack. He compliments not bad. That technique could have scratched him a little. Where did he go? That little buttlord used that blast as a means of running away. Vegeta bellows that hiding is futile and he will destroy this entire planet if he has to. Behind you, Saiyan! Easily dodging and grappling his arm, Vegeta snarls that attacking from behind like a coward. For that, he's gonna rip his arm off. Doing so, before he kills him, he will answer his question. As the soldier screams in pain, the prince inquires if he knows anything about the Super Saiyan who defeated Frieza. Stunned by this claim, the villain stutters that Vegeta is delusional. Frieza defeated by an inferior race? Which was the wrong answer. The anti-hero extends an arm and piffs that he's no use to him then. But what does he mean? The prince shouts that the Super Saiyan exists and he will be the next. Reminding us how grumpy Namek-era Vegeta used to be. He mumbles that there's no trace of Kakarot here. He will find him and destroy him. While he headed back to Earth, on Frieza Planet 73, things were about to change. As Mr. Freeze gets accustomed to his new Victor Stone parts, information regarding the defeat of the last member of Cold Squadron reaches the headquarters. The yellow-haired henchman from before iterates that according to the data they received from Zarak Scouter, the Saiyan he met on Planet Litz was none other than the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta. What's even more astonishing is that the latter is in the services of His Majesty, Lord Frieza. Leading the tyrant to think, the Saiyan, the traitor, could he have defeated his son? Could this be the Super Saiyan the legends talk about? That can't be possible. They must eradicate this threat. They are, and will remain, the most powerful race in the universe. He states aloud that fortunately, Frieza is in good shape again. He will take care of this. He takes a pause in his training upon noticing that his father looks upset. Entering, he returns to his bratty attitude, demanding to know what's happening here. The sound of him yelling is distracting. The king apologizes before telling how a member of his squadron encountered difficulties on a certain planet. He's found it all quite upsetting and doesn't want to bother him with it. Perking an eyebrow, the former questions his honesty about caring for his subordinates. Don't bullpucky him! He knows enough about his own father to know that he doesn't give a dang about his subjects unless it's a serious threat. And Cold can easily see that his son has perfectly called his bluff. He admits that he has tracked down that traitor Vegeta. He wanted to make him pay for defeating him. But Vegeta? Laughing aloud at the thought, did he really think that worm was capable of leaving a mark on him? He killed Vegeta on Namek. Although this claim likely confusing his father, Frieza curses those Saiyans. He was sure that he had exterminated them all except for the 3 that served him. Of course, we know he means Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. And Broly, his father Paragus, and those Saiyans who were on the mission with Kid Vegeta, and Tarble, and Turles. And even though he's kind of just a gag, even Onio for being anal about it. And of course, every real DBZ fan remembers Terrace. Back to the story. Frieza knows now that he has no choice but to believe the legend of the Super Saiyan does exist, since he was defeated by a golden-haired Saiyan on Namek. Anyway, that legend died with the explosion of that world. But a Saiyan with golden hair, like the one that defeated their ancestor Chilled? Incredible. A Yardrat soldier told him about the arrival of a Saiyan aboard a space capsule belonging to the Ginyus. It departed from planet Namek. Up until now, Frieza had no idea that Saiyan survived. But it's no matter. They can let Goku think he himself is dead. He'll be terribly shocked when he sees him waiting for his return to Earth, surrounded by the corpses of his friends. August 5th, 793. It's been 2 months since Goku first began to identify the auras that were moving around him. After all this time, he had finally become able to completely visualize a person's aura perfectly, and follow it with his mind. Interrupting his meditation, Hushu floats over to inform that they've done enough work on key visualization. Now all that remains is to teach him how to teleport. Coming to a bit of surprise to our hero. Is he really ready? With a grin, The old-timer winks he is. He will finally master instant transmission. Soba achieved this quickly. Though to his credit, he probably had plenty of time to master the basics from the Yardrats when he became their leader. So, Son Goku must listen carefully to his explanations, and he too should be able to teleport perfectly. Step 1. He must concentrate. For this, he'll have to clear his mind. Step 2. Clearly detect and visualize the source of ki he wants. Step 3. The most difficult step. He must concentrate his ki to his forehead by sending it up through his hand and focusing it towards the ki of the person he desires. Once he has completed these steps, he will be able to teleport. Zipping away, he urges Goku to come join him, who clacks his fist telling himself that he can do this. He won't give up. 1. He must clear his mind. 2. Find Hushu's ki. 3. Visualize Hushu and send his mind and ki to him. But 2 hours later, Goku's beginning to think he may have missed something. Nothing's happening, causing the wise man to fall to his knees in frustration. What a dumbo! He's only 800 meters away! Which to us brilliant imperialists is 363 feet. Goku had been training for months to master instant transmission without much success. Fatigue, concentration, and hunger were his main reasons for failing. At one point, he even considered giving up, but his fiery spirit pushed him to continue. The venerable Hushu continued suffering from an illness that affected his heart. For the second time in only a short amount of time, he fainted. As Goku continues to struggle to learn instantaneous movement, what is this mysterious illness that has befallen Hushu?